know what we're here to talk about, guys. You absolutely know what we're here to talk about. The Royal freaking Rumble, the best show of the year, as it should be, but not this time. Not this time, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ZNT Wrestling Show. I'm
Yep.
Tomas. This is Zack. We review wrestling here all the time, and I will say 2022, at least for WWE, is not off to a very good start. I had a good time watching the Rumble. I think I enjoyed this show a lot more than you did, but we're gonna share some disagreements here. This was not. Oh man, it just at the end of the day, I feel like a broken record. We said this day one. I'm pretty sure we said this with Survivor Series and every single pay-per-view. The wrestling was good for the most part. It's just the shitty booking decisions. And I will say this to the end of my days, none of it is the talent's fault. It's all backstage. It's Vince. It's all the booking decisions. It's the, I don't know, firing half of your roster, firing 80% of your roster over the past 2 years. And I'm going to go into a very interesting rant at the end of this show. Kind of just, kind of hit you with a ton of bricks. Kind of hit you like a ton of bricks. It's, don't want this to be a somber review because there's some really good things I want to talk about on the show.
There were. Both of these Rumbles, I actually, like, I do what I usually do. I watch both Rumbles live, and then what I do is the next day, I rewatch both Rumble matches again just to see if they stick with me. And there were some good parts in both Rumble matches. I don't want to say the men's Rumble match, getting too ahead of myself. It wasn't the worst one of all time.
It didn't
but
totally suck. But
I mean, I want to say that the finish of the men's Rumble match was probably the worst you'll ever see. But it's...
Yeah, a lot of people were saying they had like a four-corner review, and they said which Rumble was worse. 2011 with Alberto, 2014 with Batista, 2015 with Roman Reigns, or 20 this winner.
That might be another discussion for another time. But hey, if you guys are fans of the ZNT Wrestling Show, smash that subscribe button and that thumbs up as well. We're discussing wrestling all the time. We've got a bunch of cool retro reviews coming up, especially next month because there's a Saudi show coming up, and ain't no way we're touching that one. But guys, what do we have to start off with? It's a very interesting Royal Rumble 2022, and kicking off the show, Tomas, is the
Here we
best
go.
thing on the show.
Before I introduce this match, I actually did not watch a lot of build-up for this pay-per-view. I knew what the matches were going in, but just because with the way WWE is going, I don't feel the need to watch Raw and SmackDown, and just the way they're booking things.
Nope.
I just really didn't like it. So going into this match, I didn't know really too much to expect, but we have Roman Reigns returning to pay-per-view after dealing with his very, very quick battle with COVID. Yes, he defeated COVID, but he is defending his Universal Championship against Seth freaking Rollins. I know there was some loose, like, we were used to be in the Shield kind of thing, which, we've seen that a million times at this point, but not to the level of psychological torment that Rollins was doing, because Rollins came out to the Shield theme song. Not just the Shield theme song, but full-on Shield gear, full-on Shield coming through the entrance. He was really toying with Roman Reigns. And not only that, Pat McAfee name-dropped Jon Moxley.
He sure did.
Damn near fell out of my chair when I heard that.
He sure did. Well, first of all, I let Roman Reigns borrow my belt, which is sitting on the shelf over here for the purpose of this match. But in any case, Roman and Seth had a killer match. And yes, as soon as I heard the first tone of the Sierra Hotel India Echo and all that nonsense, I literally jumped out of my chair. And then Seth comes out like the biggest twat imaginable in the Shield gear. He is sauntering down to the ring and just rubbing it in Roman's face. But you know what? This crowd loved Seth freaking Rollins, and he was announced as Seth freaking Rollins too. They really wanted him to win.
And it's really like to the point where Rollins kind of turned himself babyface in this match.
He
did. As crazy as that sounds. I don't think we're quite ready for Rollins to turn full-on face, but
I am.
If there was a time to do it,
I'm ready.
So
I'm ready to cheer for Seth again.
There was one thing I could not get out of my head, and that's, I think this match reminded me how good Seth fucking Rollins is. Yes, I'm going to say the fucking, because I think after this performance, he has earned the promotion but he is just so damn good, not just as an in-ring performer, but Rollins was really driving this match with the psychology. He wrestled a damn near perfect match that night, and kayfabe-wise, you know, he should have walked out with the title. And I will even go as far as saying this is the best Roman Reigns match I have seen since his fights with Bryan Danielson last year. Not saying any of his matches haven't been good, but on this caliber, Rollins and Reigns did so fucking well in this match.
Yeah, I read someone on Twitter say that Reigns and Rollins were meant to be pro wrestling soulmates. Like, they're meant to orbit each other, almost like your Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Almost like
Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart.
Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, exactly. You know, maybe not to that considerable extent. I don't think Reigns and Rollins have had as good of a match as Shawn and Bret have had in the past, but I don't think they've...
Danielson and Punk, like people have said,
Danielson
over the
and
past,
Punk.
decade or so.
Yeah, exactly. But it's honestly, there were a lot of amazing callbacks there. Michael Cole actually did call the powerbomb at the beginning a shield bomb by Rollins through the announce table, and that was immediately the announce table.
That was like within the first 5 minutes of the match.
WWE was talking about Guinness World Records. I think that might hold the world record for the fastest time an announce table has been broken in any show. Like,
oh yeah, and mind you, this is a regular match. There's no stipulation, and they are absolutely causing destruction at the beginning of this match. You know, a lot of this match Rollins was a weird heel babyface hybrid to the fact that he was wrestling a damn near perfect match, and you couldn't help but commend Rollins for all the hard work he was doing in this match. But what a manipulative son of a bitch Rollins was in this match. He was in Reigns' head, and if you want to say it, Rollins is definitely the lesser of two evils.
He was
in this scenario.
He was wrestling a good match, and he was being like evil in some ways, but you couldn't help but be endeared by him. It's so weird. It's almost like how Cameron Grimes, I thought it was a weird turn for him to be babyface after he won the lottery and all that, but I don't know. Seth Rollins just came off like such a lovable personality, especially just playing mind games with the head of the table.
Just being a manipulative son of a bitch. Rollins was here for one reason and one reason only, and that was take the Universal title from Roman Reigns. That's all Rollins cared about in this match.
So many
He didn't have any personal vendetta. There was nothing like that. He knew to get in Reigns' head, and he wanted that big blue belt, and I wish he would have won it so they could move him over to the blue show, because goddamn, they are in dire need of main eventers. Well, it's quite sad to look at.
Well, they moved Big E over there full time, so I don't know if they want to completely purge.
Oh, is that official?
Now. Yep.
Is that official?
Big
Okay,
E
good.
is SmackDown.
Good.
So, Seth.
When I saw him show up on SmackDown, I was like, good, because what the fuck? He jobbed to Rollins on Raw, and I'm like, what the fuck else do you do with Big E? Like, unless you're going to
absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Like I would say,
as we'll talk about. But this was a really damn good match. Again, these guys know each other so well. Seth Rollins was getting in Roman's head so many times, and the near falls in this thing. Oh my God, I was loving every minute of it. Seth Rollins hits a curb stomp. I want to say like 5 minutes into the match, I was like, oh my God, he's gonna squash Roman Reigns, and he's gonna end it at 516 days right here, because rumor had it Seth was going to walk out of day one with the WWE title before Roman contracted COVID. So maybe this was their way to reward Seth. And maybe
I don't blame Rollins. I mean, I don't blame Reigns for that. I blame the shitty booking and deciding to put the title on Brock Lesnar. More on that later.
Yep.
Yeah, this night's going to have a theme with all of these matches, and just a certain... Anywho, yeah, I think Rollins hit that curb stomp off of a buckle bomb, which is such a clean transition out of that buckle bomb into the curb stomp. Reigns kicks out in like like Michael Cole would say back in Just Bring It. That was like 2 9/9, 7/8. Like, I don't think you could get any closer than that with that 3 count.
That should be fine. But this match was going along pretty great. And then Roman goes for the spear, does the ooh-ah, and will he ever learn Seth Rollins counters the damn spear into a pedigree, just like he's done so many times before.
Such an excellent counter. You saw that coming from a mile away, but it was so clean and so smooth. Rollins also hit a damn near... I want to see who can get a higher frog splash, him or Montez Ford. Because goddamn, the height and the distance, both of those guys get on their frog splash, but Rollins had a beautiful frog splash this night too. Reigns was able to hit the spear, and Rollins is able to kick out. I feel like not a lot of people kick out of the spear, so that was quite an impressive spot there.
And then Oh my God. Okay, so Reigns gets Rollins in the guillotine choke, and then
But hold on,
Rollins.
before he does that, Reigns is setting up again, and Rollins extends the fist.
That's
This is like a last-ditch effort to get into Reigns' head. You know, extend that fist out, like, come on, we're still the Shield, all that stuff.
I'll always
And
love
then,
you,
as
brother.
You say, Reigns locks in the guillotine, which I call the Giant Slayer. That is a move Reigns should reserve for bigger guys like your Strowmans, like your Big Shows, like your, you know, the big guys like that. But sometimes he likes to be a son of a bitch and use it on Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. Use the guillotine choke on Rey Mysterio, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, all those guys. You know, they're gonna fall to Roman's Giant Slayer because Seth is a giant. So, Reigns gets him in the guillotine choke. Seth is in there for a long ass time, and basically he starts to pass out. Referee Charles Robinson holds his arm up, and Seth's hand falls right into the bottom rope. Literally,
and also,
so telegraphed.
Don't think I didn't see that tiny little assist from Lil Nate. I saw that because he lifted up the arm and he slightly extended it, so when Rollins' hand dropped, it would land it directly on the rope. So don't think I didn't see that. That was so clever and so subtle.
Yeah. It was clever for sure. And then Roman held on to the guillotine choke for the full 5 count, and he gets himself fucking disqualified.
And Robinson, you saw the look on his face. He goes 1, 2, 3, and he like hesitates for a second and goes 4, 5, and he has no choice but to ring the bell.
He does have a choice.
I
does have a choice.
You hate it.
Disqualify
I know you hated this finish. I know you hated the finish. Well, then what? Then Reigns doesn't relinquish the hold, and he still wins anyway?
Yeah. I mean...
So I know you hated the finish to this match. I know you did. And it wasn't ideal for me either. But I think the psychology and the storytelling was so damn good that even with this finish, it still told a story. It told a story that could extend till WrestleMania, but we know they're not going to do that. More on that later.
Honestly, I think it's possible they could extend it to WrestleMania. When there's a will, there's a way. If you want to put Seth Rollins in the WrestleMania main event, you absolutely freaking can.
But with, again, that is a story element, because look at all of other Reigns' defenses. Always needing the Usos to win. Getting so frustrated with Bryan Danielson that he needed to beat him to get him out of the WWE, kayfabe-wise. Reigns knew on this night he could not beat Rollins. And he took the coward's way out and got himself disqualified because he knew once. Because has anyone ever escaped the guillotine? I feel like Rollins is the first.
I think you're right. I think you're right on that front. But I
think Reigns realized I can't beat this man. And he got himself disqualified because the Usos were banned from ringside. That was one point we did not bring up. When Reigns doesn't have the Usos, he didn't have Paul Heyman at the moment. He was all by himself. He was vulnerable. Yeah. And he knew Rollins had his damn number that night. And so with that being said, I know it's not an ideal finish, but I think the whole match was that damn good that, you know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to forgive it. I don't like it. That was not the way I would book this match, but I'll forgive it.
Yeah.
And also another way to keep that title on Reigns, you know me. This 560, well, now as of this recording, 518-day reign?
518, 519.
Keep it going. Keep it fucking going.
Keep it going to SummerSlam, honestly. Keep it going to SummerSlam.
At this point, I think, to quote good mic work, I want Roman Reigns to hold the title until 33. Hell, even longer than that.
Just break Bruno Sammartino's 8-year run with the WWF title. So, here's the thing, though. I mean, so, number one, storytelling was fantastic. This match is 3 3/4 for me. I think the wrestling was
4.5 for me.
4.5. Wow.
I fucking love this match.
I agree.
If it would have went on for 5 more minutes and it had a decisive finish, this could have been a 5-star match for me.
I tell you
what,
what,
they got a little under 15 minutes.
Let me see. Yeah, 14:25. 14:25. Reigns said he won't allow me to let go when Little Nate rang the bell, but yeah, I understand 4.5 stars, but I'll tell you what, if Vince McMahon crowned Seth Rollins the new Universal Champion, this match is 5 stars. Easy. Yeah. But in any case, they played it safe. which is the WWE thing to do.
Yeah.
It really annoyed me. But I do understand, like, in terms of the long-term story, like, why they did it.
And that's only if I could easily eat my words in like a week.
This is a universal title match on one of your biggest shows of the year, though. Like, you have it end in a disqualification? Like, come on, man. Like,
and this is Reigns' first pay-per-view defense since Extreme Rules.
Since Crown Jewel.
Since Crown Jewel, if you want to count that one.
So
because no defense in Survivor Series, and he was out for day one, no December pay-per-view. So this is his first defense in like a good 3-4 months.
Yeah.
On pay-per-view.
So, I mean, I would have loved for Seth to win the title, and I think there's still a way to get the title on Seth this year, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. But
and again, 2 shows, 2 champions. I know I feel like a broken record, and this is the definition of insanity, but WWE, get fucking creative. Get creative.
I will say, though,
creative. And 2 nights, and 2 nights. 2 nights of WrestleMania. You have no excuse.
I will say
2 shows, 2 champions, 2 nights of WrestleMania.
I will say that the aftermath of this match was freaking awesome, with Roman releasing the hold and grabbing not 1 but 2 steel chairs. And it's an exact mirror of the night Seth Rollins broke up the Shield 7.5 years ago.
Yeah, but I will
really
admit,
good.
In the moment, I didn't care. Didn't care, because like the match is over. They're not going to restart it. I really could give a shit less what Reigns does to Rollins now.
It was, the timing was a little bit off. Maybe if they did a ref bump and they did the Shield spot there, I think it would have come off a lot better.
Yeah.
But it's still, on paper, the idea is really solid. And the execution was good. The timing was just wrong. But
and again, I know you're ready, and at this point, I wouldn't care. If this match turned Rollins face, fuck it.
More power to them. And I know Tomas wants to see a last man standing match between these two at Elimination Chamber.
And at this point, I really could give a fuck less if Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch are on the same show. Just saying.
Well, I'm
just saying. I know you got to keep the couples together, but hey, SmackDown is dry.
Yeah.
And with the addition of Big E, and honestly, at this point, fucking move Rollins over there. He did not get his fair run on SmackDown. He did not.
They're probably gonna move them over anyway, so we'll see what happens there. But you ready, Tomas? We have one of 2 motherfucking Royal Rumble matches to go through. On the women's side first, and there is no by the numbers video package this year. They did play it on the pre-show, but they didn't play
at
it.
This point, yeah, I could care less. I do wish one year, because it's been like 4 years in a row now. I would like to see the women go on last 1 year. It would be nice.
Because this was actually the more entertaining Rumble, believe it or not.
It was.
So number 1, it comes out, and it's Sasha Banks, exactly like she did in the first women's Rumble match, which I was like, okay. I mean, there's a lot of parallels. A lot of people entering in the same number they did in past Rumbles this year.
2 things I want to mention about Banks. Number 1, she was telegraphed to not be in the Royal Rumble match this year. She got injured like a month ago, and she was going to miss like the Rumble by like a week or so. But when there's a will, there's a way. Banks made a surprise appearance on SmackDown. She entered the Royal Rumble. And the second thing is, I saw the Sailor Moon cosplay, and I thought that was really cool.
Saray must be
not
so
an anime
mad.
person. Yeah, I'm not an anime person, but I grew up watching Sailor Moon, and I thought that was really cool. I think Sasha Banks is a weeb in real life, so good on her.
See, I thought she was filming The Mandalorian. I didn't know she was actually injured, but, in any case.
That could be. It could be that. It could be that. And WWE, here's the thing, though. I think WWE, they're fully advertising Banks on Mandalorian. So if she was out doing that, then, it's no different than The Miz going to film his 100th straight-to-DVD film.
It's no different than promoting The Miz on Dancing with the Stars and having Corey Graves be like, don't vote for him. I want him back on Monday Night Raw,
so for all we know, Banks probably was injured, and she wasn't as injured as everybody thought she was. Or maybe, it wasn't that bad, and W was like, oh, we're going to fool everyone, say Banks is not going to be in the Rumble. And then, just kidding, she shows up the night before.
Speaking of surprise appearances, were you as happy to see Melina come out at number 2 as I was?
Was, because I know everybody has bad things to say about her, but I've been watching her work in NWA.
I don't
and that was really fucking cool. This was another example of the forbidden door that WWE is finally starting to break open.
That's
I think
true.
Melina is not fully, but she makes regular appearances on, the National Wrestling Alliance. So this is really fucking cool. Melina's also Sacramento born and raised, so that's also really fucking cool.
I
She
didn't
got
know
a good
that.
pop. Yeah, she is. When I went to the bash, she was super over because she is from Sacramento.
Oh wow. No,
Um,
she's built from LA, and like she came out with the paparazzi gimmick like she did always with
oh yeah, she is from
Mercury and
LA, but
Nitro.
she was born in Sacramento.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, hey, we learn something new every
I
day.
also cannot believe at her age she is still as flexible as she ever could be because she did the iconic entrance. And I told my
Still
girlfriend,
does the splits.
hold on, you don't know who Melina is. And when she did, that's what she's known for, doing the fucking splits on the apron.
Yep, with Eminem, and that's how she got over. So Melina was in tears facing off with Sasha Banks, like she couldn't help herself. And then goodbye, she's sent right over the top rope. And then she's so mad that she does splits again on the outside. I'm like, what
and
the?
then Banks,
What the fuck?
Banks then taunts her splits. This is when, I thought, why not make Sasha Banks the Iron Woman? There is no reason for her to make it all the way to the end, at least in this damn thing. Because, when she did that, it reminded me of CM Punk in 2010. It reminded me of Bray Wyatt in 2015. I really like when they do that, when they throw one person in there and say,
Brock
"Fucking
Lesnar
bring it
2
on.
years ago.
Yeah, I fuck Lesnar. That doesn't fucking count. I like Wyatt and Punk more. Wyatt and Punk were a hell of a lot more impressive than Lesnar ever was.
Well, hey, if Brock pissed you off in 2020, good. That was their goal.
Fucking A.
So,
Fucking A.
this first third of the Rumble was actually pretty weak, though. Number 3 is Tamina.
Well, it's WWE's core women's division, which I'm glad they got a lot of women in there that,
Where were the who's your dad chants at Tamina? Number 4 is Kelly Kelly, who comes out to a huge pop.
Which I cannot believe it is showing age because I remember having a huge crush on her in 2007. And then seeing her now, she is, wow. I feel like a jerk now. She's 35 years old.
Remember when her whole gimmick was that she was 19 years old on ECW?
Yeah, fucking A.
Jeez, you're making me feel old.
So Kelly was, whenever I see Kelly, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I had a huge crush on her when I was little. And then 2010 rolled around, I'm like, oh my God, you are the worst wrestler I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, the sloppy head scissors on Tamina, of all people. Like, good Lord. And then Kelly Kelly
remember, back in 2009, 2010, a lot of these women didn't have the resources or the opportunities that they have now. So I'm going to say this a lot. There's a lot of women in this Rumble I would like to see get a second shot in WWE.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about a few of those. But Kelly Kelly took a nasty faceplant off the apron to get eliminated by Sasha. That's 2. That's 2 for Sasha, if anybody's counting. Here comes Aaliyah at number 5, who is a former member of the YWC from back in the day, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Number 6 is
also Aaliyah. WWE, this is a prime example of why do you randomly decide you want to push people and then you just, oh, fuck you, we don't want you anymore. Hey, Aaliyah, welcome to the Survivor Series team. No, go fuck yourself. We don't want you anymore.
Welcome to fastest WWE victory ever. Yeah, overtaking The Rock's 4 seconds at the Deadly Game tournament. Thank you. But Liv Morgan is number 6. She already points at the WrestleMania sign and she takes a bow, and I'm like, she's gonna last a long time, isn't she? Liv Morgan deserves the world.
2 potential Iron Women in this match in Morgan and Banks, and oh boy,
Queen Zelina
is one half. Yeah, one half of the women's tag team champions, Queen Zelina.
All hail Queen Zelina. I could have sworn that voice was the same voice that introduced Eva Marie 6 years ago on SmackDown Live. Like, I could have sworn. Like, it sound exactly alike. If you listen to both of those theme songs, like, I could have sworn it was the same guy. And it didn't occur to me until I rewatched the Rumble, like, I don't know. I think it was yesterday, but Queen Zelina comes down to the ring, and fucking Sasha Banks is thrown out over the top rope by Queen Zelina already.
And immediately, I got PTSD flashbacks from 2015 with Wyatt and Bryan Danielson, because I'm just like, yeah, sure, that made Wyatt look good, and it made Zelina look really good, but why? If you really wanted to do the spot, you couldn't have waited like a half hour later and then let Zelina eliminate her?
Honestly, here's the thing, though, Tomas, with me. That elimination did not nearly piss me off as much in the moment up until the next entrant at number 8, Bianca Belair, ran out to the ring. So let me get this straight. WWE's producers eliminate Sasha Banks at number 7 just before Bianca comes out. and you can't recreate that magic. Come on now. It's too easy.
Exactly. Like, come on, WWE. It's like, again, you want Zelina to eliminate Banks that bad to give her the rub. I'm okay with that. But why do it so fucking soon? Same with Danielson all those years ago. Like, I know you weren't going to have him win, but you can't at least let him run the gauntlet. Because if there's one trope I really like, it's wrestlers running the gauntlet in the Rumble. More on that later. Oh my God, more on that fucking later.
I don't want to get pissed off right now, but number 9 is
out next is the 24/7 champion Dana Brooke, which
with
I
Reginald.
Actually, really, I'm really happy that WWE is finally kind of giving her some attention. I know the 24/7 title is a fucking joke, but at least she's featured every week on TV, and she's actually getting to show off what she can do. Because I'll admit, she's grown on me, especially these past couple years. Dana has definitely grown on me.
She's a veteran now. I think she's been in every single women's Rumble match at this point, too. So
yeah, good for her. She's been here for like 6-7 years. Fucking good for her.
Yep. And here's a name that I want to see get a second run in WWE. At number 10, Michelle McCool, wife to The Undertaker, Mrs. Mean Mark Callis. I mean, she looks freaking great, guys. I don't care what you say.
She looks great. Oh, yeah. She looks great, and I fucking popped for the face breaker. I popped for that shit so hard.
Her variation on the Styles Clash, absolutely.
Yeah,
love that move. Love that move.
Fucking so much. I remember back in like 2010 when she first busted it out. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, McCool's using the Styles Clash. Go fuck yourself, TNA. But yeah, I'm sure that was really fucking cool having McCool and AJ Styles in the backstage at the same time. They're like, I bet she ran a fight. I was like, hey, I'm gonna do face breakers. Like, fuck yeah, do it.
Yeah, for sure. Michelle McCool like immediately eliminates Dana Brooke after like a little tease with Reginald on the outside, who saved her from elimination. But Sonya Deville comes out next at number 11 as WWE official, and the gimmick is she wears the jacket, and when she's a jacket, she's an official. But when the jacket comes off, no nonsense attitude now. It's anything goes.
I like it. It's a different gimmick on Sonya Deville because, you know, the MMA fighter wasn't really going anywhere. I like what they're doing with Naomi on SmackDown. And I'm saying this right now, especially after tonight, they could hold that shit off to WrestleMania.
Yeah. No,
easily hold that shit off to WrestleMania.
They easily could, for sure. I think Naomi deserves another WrestleMania moment aside from winning the SmackDown Women's title in her hometown. But other than that, I mean, you have Natalya running out at number 12. Nothing much happens.
She gets a nice ovation. I think WWE brought up that she's like been in all of the women's Rumble matches, and
she sure has.
Fuck, Natalya is a record breaker, and I hope she's around for a lot longer to break a lot more records. I just smile when I see Natalya nowadays because nobody has done what she's done, and I don't think she gets like the recognition she deserves.
Yeah, Natalya dumped Tamina too. Natalya eliminated her former tag partner, so I mean, I guess that makes sense. So number 13 is Cameron, former Funkadactyl.
I was scratching my head the entire time like,
hey, hold on a second. I popped because I figured out a few weeks ago when I was on vacation, I was having dinner with both of my cousins. She is actually dating my older cousin Rhett's really good friend in real life. So I was like, sick, Cameron. My cousin Rhett actually knows Ariane Andrew too. So
damn. First you know someone that knows Bailey, now you know someone that knows Cameron.
Yep. Yep. So I popped.
So when she came out, I was very puzzled until they were talking about like all the Funkadactyls, and Sonya Deville says, wait, she's friends with Naomi? And Cole says, yeah, they used to be a tag team. And she goes, huh, interesting. Throws down the headset, runs in the ring, beats up Cameron, and throws her out just for being friends with Naomi. What a bitch.
Beats the fuck out of her, man. Like, she showed no mercy to Cameron. I think just to stick it to Naomi, who did come out at the cursed number 14 next up. So I'm very concerned for Naomi's contract for the rest of the year.
Please don't.
So Naomi, yeah, she runs down to the ring, and Sonya is thrown out relatively quickly after that. And then just to make room, Sonya Deville is thrown out for number 15, Carmella, and Corey Graves is sitting at ringside as the happiest little gnome. And I'm like,
the other half of the women's tag team champions, she goes over, and I think she's just there to flirt with Graves. And then I totally forgot her gimmick, which is the face mask. She goes and gets the ugly face mask on, and she goes into the ring, and I think she gets the shit beat out of her too. No.
No, she didn't get the shit beat out of her until Rhea Ripley ran down next.
And Rhea Ripley, and I was like, fuck, there's my pick. There's my fucking pick. After Banks was eliminated, it was like, okay, it's Ripley or bust now.
If you guys remembered from a year ago, Rhea Ripley was my pick to win the Royal Rumble, but she came oh so close before Bianca.
Okay,
her, so.
Real quick, let me get this out of the way. I do not hate Nikki ASH, but I'm glad the tag team is over because it was a good way to keep Ripley busy because after she dropped the title, they weren't going to do jack shit with her. So when she formed this tag team, I'm like, it's not ideal, but it gives both women something to do. I'm glad it's over now. That gives Ripley hopefully a clear shot back to the title picture because she's too fucking talented to be doing anything else. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then out comes number 17, Charlotte Flair, the Brock Lesnar of this year, the SmackDown Women's Champion, who declared herself for the match. She said she's going to win it and pick her own opponent for WrestleMania. That is something Lesnar did not make clear when he entered in 2020. So I'm going to give WWE props for at least being giving a little more clarity to that stipulation. And, props to Flair. She easily could have said, I'm going to win the Rumble so nobody can fight me at Mania. At least she's willing to pick her own opponent. So that's why I wasn't so concerned with Flair as I was with Lesnar.
Immediately tosses out Aaliyah upon entering the ring, too, which I did not like. But Naomi also saves herself from elimination. Both of her feet aren't touching the ground. Charlotte knocks her off the apron. Sonya Deville, who never left ringside, then pulls Naomi out from underneath the bottom rope, and there's a feud. There's your future feud going forward. So,
oh yeah,
oh boy,
my
favorite.
Okay, before we get into the next one, I just want to say the idea of having like a final boss in the Royal Rumble kind of intrigues me now, especially with Flair.
Yeah,
I know the whole. I feel like this is not the end of the champion's going to insert themselves into the Rumble, but I kind of like that idea of how the fuck is this person going to get eliminated? Not just because they're big,
true.
Like I said, I'm kind of getting, okay, when we get into the men's match, like we're going to get into there's the big guy everyone's got to team up on. But I like the idea of Flair is just so damn good. How the fuck are you going to eliminate her? I kind of like that idea.
You're not.
Yeah, I like that idea. So, I'm going to let you take this over because I love this, but I feel like you just...
Oh, my God. This was my favorite moment of the night up until a couple entries later. Number 18 hits, and you hear the fucking right to center siren blaring all throughout the stadium, and fucking Ivory walks out to the ring, who, may I remind everybody, is 60 years old, and she has not looked like she has aged at all. Ivory looked like, coming out with that old school right to center gear. She's like, it has been a long, long time. And they don't have anything to censor anymore. Like, what do they have to fight?
It's funny because when I saw the name, I'm like, okay, Ivory. And then I heard the theme song. And what was I saying a couple months ago? Right to censor would work in 2022 because they could totally just, I know they have like the Joe Gacy thing going on in NXT right now, but I feel like it could take that kind of spin around it when it comes to like being PC. But my favorite part of Ivory's whole involvement in this match is that she cut a promo on the way to the ring. She got the microphone in the ring. Rhea Ripley scooped her up. She still has the microphone. And she ducks her out. And that whole time, Ivory does not let go of that microphone. Even when she's eliminated, she's still talking.
How dare you? I laughed and I laughed and I laughed. I rewatched it again. I could not contain my laughter at all. Rhea Ripley picks her up. What I want is women! And she's screaming into the microphone. And I'm
she said something about taking care of their families and not being concerned about Facebook posts. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, if you think right to censor could work in 2022, I am all for it, man. If Ivory wants to take on a group of youngins to, lead the right to censor into a new age, I'm all for it. So, number
19, I hear the fucking theme song that haunts my dreams. Brie mode hits. It's Brie Bella. I fucking groan. She gets in the ring and then she starts doing the yes chant, and I go, Brie, fucking stop making me like you. Stop making me like you. You're oh my god, the Bella Twins.
Oh god!
But then stop being so endearing, Brie.
The crowd was doing the yes chant, and the announcers are like, "Yeah, you see them chanting along with Brie," and I'm like, "Yeah, who do you think came up with those chants, guys? Who do you think did it?"
And you know what, WWE, you're the ones making yourself look awkward because Danielson's ain't even doing that shit in AEW. So
He's not.
You're the ones making it awkward.
Break down the forbidden door, will ya? Which brings me to number 20. My favorite moment of the whole evening was Mickie James running out to the ring with the Impact Knockouts World Title belt around her waist and Hardcore Country blaring over the PA system.
That's what surprised me.
Loved
Not
it.
The belt, it was the theme song. And a lot of people were saying that for once, WWE treated Mickie James with a lot of respect with this entrant.
They absolutely did.
They referred to her as the champion, and they weren't, sugarcoating anything with her. I thought that was really cool. If I'm going to nitpick on one tiny itty bitty thing, they showed her as the Impact Women's Champion, not the Impact Knockouts Champion. Yep. Again, that's a tiny ass nitpick. But at the same time, I don't think WWE even pays attention enough to even know that.
They don't pay attention to Impact. I mean, they're just like, okay, we'll mention the company. So
who would have thought, what was it, 12 years later when they're in this war, that WWE would finally be in a working agreement with Impact? Not even a petty one like, let us have Ric Flair and fuck it, you can have Christian Cage for one night. No, this was a, hey, bring your champion to our match and we're going to advertise her as the champion and you can talk about the Royal Rumble on Impact. It's like, WWE, just think about it. If you were able to do this, think of the other things you can do.
Yep.
Just think about it.
Absolutely.
Just fucking think about it.
Fucking bring Chris Jericho into the men's Royal Rumble for one night only. I would love to see that at some point. Spoiler alert, it didn't happen.
Danielson's on good terms with WWE. They did not leave on bad terms whatsoever.
Obviously.
So I really think that forbidden door is left wide open for a guy like Danielson.
Yeah, Danielson's actually one of the few people left on this earth who actually thinks Vince is smart. So in any case, so number 21 is Alicia Fox. I groaned. I wanted people to throw her out immediately. I think she's annoying. I think she's annoying. I don't care what anybody says. Number 22 is Nikki Ash. Rhea Ripley is waiting in the ring, and Nikki Ash blindsides her from behind, and she tries to toss Rhea Ripley. I thought that was going to be it for her, but no.
Yeah, and then Ripley grabs her by the face and says, "Listen here, you little twerp." I don't think that's a match they can hold off till Mania, but I think that would be like a fun street fight on Raw.
See, I thought Rhea Ripley called Nikki Ash something else, but I'm glad you clarified that. A twerp. So,
yeah. That's gonna be a fun feud, but I don't want to see them hold that off till Mania. That's definitely
Yep.
Again, feature it on Raw, make it a street fight. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Mickie James was mixing it up with Liv Morgan at this point in the match, who was going 30 minutes strong. And then
number 23, you're gonna find it surprising. It's Summer Rae, and you know what? I'd give her another chance.
I'd give her another chance too, but I was like, oh my god, that's Summer Rae. Like, she looked
she doesn't
so
look
different.
The same. She does. She does not. No. So I know I'm in the minority, and Summer Rae didn't even do a lot in this match, but I'm just like, again, she did not have the resources. She had a good look. I will give her that. And she wasn't terrible in the ring. But with these new resources, she's definitely a WWE. Take note. This is somebody I would like to see them send down to NXT 2.0.
Maybe. I don't know, man. But, yeah, Natalya disposes of her real quick. Tomas's favorite entry comes out at 24, and Nikki Bella sprints down to the ring, immediately teams up with her sister. And then 25, which was a very pleasant surprise, was Sarah Logan, a few months postpartum. Why?
She's a little problematic.
What's wrong with Sarah Logan?
Her and Raymond Rowe are a little problematic. I just suggest Googling it a little later.
Okay.
Also, I'm going to be an asshole.
I know what you're talking about.
She looked like shit.
Yeah, I was surprised to see her. So I was like, okay. In the moment, I'm like, okay.
When I saw her, I was a little surprised, but I was like, you do got to remember she still is married to Rowe. So I'm pretty sure, there was the release and all that, but they also had just had a kid. So I think this kind of worked in Logan's favor. And after some time passed, they're like, hey, can she come back? I don't know. Logan, I think she can come back to the WWE when she's ready.
Yeah.
But, I like how I'm calling him Raymond Rowe. I'm like, what the fuck is his name on SmackDown? Eric, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
If they put the tag team titles on the Viking Raiders, and I could definitely see Sarah Logan making her way back to WWE.
Yeah, I mean, if Sarah Logan wants to be the manager for the Viking Raiders, I'm for that. So, I don't really have an issue with Sarah Logan as a worker, but yeah, she's disposed of pretty easily. And then Liv Morgan is eliminated by the Bellas. Fuck that noise. Why?
On a brighter note, it's Lita. Lita looks fucking amazing. I want to see her come back for a couple more matches, like Trish Stratus guys.
Yeah.
Like, throw her in the ring with Rhea Ripley. Throw her in the ring with a Sasha Banks or a Becky Lynch. Kind of like you had with Charlotte Flair at SummerSlam 2019. Come on, there are still some dream matches left for the women.
Oh yeah. Lita can still go for sure. Mickie James was eliminated by Lita, which made me sad, and it does harken back to Lita's retirement match at Survivor Series 06. Mickie James was her opponent that night. Number 27, Mighty Molly. Nikki Ash, of course, ambushes her from behind as the other superhero. You don't deserve this camp, and she throws it out of the ring. Mighty Molly is disposed of real quick. See you soon.
Watch your fucking mouth, Nikki ASA. She is the Batman to your Robin, and you show her some fucking respect next time. I popped for Mighty Molly.
Oh yeah, Mighty Molly.
We stand Mighty Molly in this household.
Don't stop me, Hurricane. But do you want to talk about this 28, Tomas? Do you want to talk about this entry?
I remember after Molly came out, I was like, there are 3 people left. Who could it be? And then 28, it's Ronda fucking Rousey. And I popped. I knew there was a small rumor. Here's the thing, I've been not looking at anything, but people are saying like, oh, there's a rumor. I'm like, and I kind of brushed it off. When I heard that theme song, I'm like, fuck yeah. It's been 3 years since we've seen Ronda Rousey. She's back. I know I'm in the minority when I say this. I think she looks good, and I think she performed very well in this match.
4 months after having her first child with Travis Brown, and she's in there mixing it up. 4 months. Let me
remind you of all the things that have happened since Ronda Rousey has left professional wrestling. She got pregnant. She had a kid. She absolutely crushed her hand, almost Goldberg style. She said she didn't want to come back to pro wrestling. There was a pandemic. There was no fans. Now there's fans. We got Ronda Rousey back finally.
We do. Yeah,
again,
it's been a long time.
Happy. I like her.
I like her too, and I can sit here proudly today and say that Ronda Rousey is the most natural athlete to transition into pro wrestling since Kurt Angle. I said it.
Oh,
Ronda Rousey has reached Kurt Angle level at this point. So Rousey immediately tosses Nikki Ash to the outside. Nikki Bella is on the apron, harkening back to the Evolution main event. Brie almost knocked her sister
do another
off.
one of those pay-per-views, please.
Yes, yeah. I want another Evolution, please. Yeah, you can have Lita have a dream match there. And then Brie knocks her sister off the apron and then screams, "Revenge!" And I'm like, yeah, call back.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a flying fuck.
You know, I'm sure there's people who care, but Brie was disposed of.
I remember I looked down on my phone and then Brittany said, "Oh, Nikki's out." I'm like, "Oh, that's nice." And I looked back at my phone.
Yep.
Number 29 is Shotzi. Love to see Shotzi in the Royal Rumble.
Black card, baby. Yep.
And then number 30 was Shayna Baszler, the Queen of Space. Kind of forgot about Baszler for a minute. Kind of, that's not a good thing.
As soon as number 30, remember her. As soon as the countdown was going on, Ronda was in the ring, and I'm like, they're gonna put Shayna in there with Ronda, aren't they? And then, sure enough, Shayna's music hits, and I was very happy to see it. And I was like, yeah, all right, well, it gets to final 6 is, let's see, Ronda, I believe, eliminated Shotzi. Ronda eliminates Natalya twice, so we're left. Yeah, Natalya for some reason ran back into the ring just to be thrown out over the top rope one more time. So Lita goes up for a lead assault. Rhea Ripley shoves Lita off the top. Charlotte boots Lita off the apron.
Before we get to the end of this match, there are a couple of people that people brought up that were in this Rumble. One surprised me, one doesn't. People were hoping for Bayley. She's not ready yet, guys. She'll be back. She's just not ready yet.
She tore her ACL.
Another one is Asuka. Where has she been?
I guess she's recuperating.
We're going to see Asuka in this match. That's the only thing I think, because she's been out since, I want to say July, August.
I thought she was, I don't know, but but Lita put on a really good showing in this match too. She looked really, really damn good. Lita went for a lead assault. Charlotte knocks her off the apron, and then a lot of people, I know people want Charlotte and Lita at WrestleMania. I don't think that's what's happening. We'll talk about that, but the fans booed heavily when Lita was eliminated. Charlotte then disposes of Rhea Ripley as well.
Honestly, once Rousey came out, I didn't switch teams. I don't do that, but I knew I was like, okay, it's not going to be Ripley. It's not going to be Ripley.
Once Ronda Rousey came out, the writing was on the wall. The final four: Charlotte, Rousey, Belair, and Baszler.
And the only other person I thought of was Bianca Belair. I was like, if anyone's going to do it 2 years in a row, it's going to be her. But that's going to be a foreshadowing to my little rant at the end of the show. I'm going to save it for the end of the show.
That's fine.
It's going to apply to both the women's and the men's Rumble. So I realized it wasn't going to be Belair 2 years in a row. Kind of made me sad.
Yeah. Call back to Takeover Phoenix, by the way, with Belair and Baszler hooking it up in there. Kira Fuda clutches all over the place. Belair goes for the KOD. And I would have loved to have seen a KOD over the top rope, too. That would have been a sick elimination. But no, Charlotte dumps them both out from behind, and Ronda and Charlotte mix it up for a few seconds. It's a judo throw over the top. Writings on the wall. Ronda Rousey points at the sign. She's going to Dallas, and she sets the big star on fire. Literally. The pyro.
More on that in a little bit. I want to save speculation for the end of this review because I want to get the other results out first because I've been really playing with this in my mind to see what they're exactly going to do with both these Royal Rumble winners. But other than that being said, I'm happy Rousey is back. And,
Me too.
You knew if they were going to get her back in the WWE, it was inevitable. She was going to win one of these eventually.
The crowd was happy to see her too.
I do understand people's frustrations with you have a roster full of talented women that you barely use, and then you're going to tell them to go fuck themselves, and you're just going to bring in, don't want to call her a part-timer, but someone who hasn't been in wrestling for the past 3 years, and, especially with 2020 and 2021, they weren't there for the bad times. They weren't there for the hard times. More on that later. Don't want to get too much into that, but I do understand people's frustrations, but again, like you said, Ronda Rousey's not bad in the ring. She good.
Really isn't.
And when she was with the WWE, remember, in 2019, for most of 2018 and 2019, she was there for every Raw. She was there for every pay-per-view. She was there for house shows. And she even said herself, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it full time. I'm going to do all the house shows. I'm going to be on the road. And all the men and the women in the back, they respect her. So I don't think it's fair to call Ronda Rousey not one of the girls, because she 100% is.
Yeah, I can't wait to see her mix it up with Charlotte in AT&T Stadium. But
anyway. All personal feelings aside, because I know Ronda Rousey's a little problematic, and I didn't know about that until this weekend. I'm just
Yep. Putting aside what Ronda Rousey has said about certain things in the past, but
put an asterisk next to her name.
This Rumble gets a thumbs up from me. I really enjoyed it. I mean, the first third was a little iffy, but then I think as soon as Rhea Ripley entered the ring, it really picked up for me. So
and you know what? It's always nice to see a Michelle McCool. It's always nice to see a Melina. It's really cool to see Ivory back as RTC. It's really cool to see someone like Summer Rae. And, the forbidden door was broken open in this match. And I do think WWE just keep an open mind, because with Mickie James, you could have some fun in the future with like an Evolution pay-per-view, or hell, I know she has a TNA pay-per-view coming up in April, but that's late April. Who knows? Maybe you can do something at WrestleMania. Just keep an open mind.
We'll see.
I know WrestleMania is for the casual fan, which is bullshit, because I think WrestleMania is a reward for all wrestling fans for putting up with all your garbage throughout the year. But come on, just for once, do something fun. I'm going to say it. Put the Impact Knockouts title on the line at WrestleMania, or have Mickie James challenge one of the WWE champions and say, I'm going to take your fucking belt back to Impact with me, and you are going to have to watch me defend it. It's like, do something fun.
Have her be the female equivalent of Ric Flair in 1991, calling herself the real
one of your
women's
WWE
champion.
stars storm the Impact Zone. They already have an ROH invasion right now. Why not make a WWE one? Like, come on, WWE. For once in your miserable, pathetic lives, do something fun.
Oh, boy. Yeah, but fun Rumble. Speaking of women's wrestling, what do we have next?
We have Becky Lynch defending the Raw Women's Championship against Doudrop. And the first thing I'm going to say is I'm ignoring you. They had the unfortunate, what do I want to say? They had the misfortunate dishonor of going on right after the Royal Rumble match, because I'm going to say it right away, the crowd was really fucking dead during this match. And it's a shame because this wasn't a bad match.
It was good. I mean, this was a good little showcase for Piper Niven because that's who I saw in the ring, WWE. Not the stupid name you put on her.
It doesn't matter if you didn't see that. That's who it was.
It was.
And I'm not saying you're wrong.
Exactly.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that unfortunately, it's always going to say that in the record books, no matter how hard you ignore it. And I know I'm right there with you. I don't agree with it, but in the record books, that's what that hasn't happened yet. So until that happens,
Gunther. Yeah, no, we can change it. We can just ignore Gunther and then just have them just go back to Walter because that's much more intimidating. So we can change it. Fans.
Do we want to talk about the elephant in the room before we get into the actual match?
Yeah. So apparently, so the first few goings of this match, nothing's really happening, and I'm noticing the crowd look over this way at something going on. I'm like, oh, a fight must be breaking out in the crowd or something that must be more interesting. But it didn't occur to me until I was reading on Twitter, Sean Ross Sapp, who was actually in attendance at the Royal Rumble, was kind of talking about the WrestleMania sign being on fire. It was like Ronda Rousey's pyro when she pointed at the sign, melting the WrestleMania sign. And Becky Lynch looks at the sign and she's like, "Oh, I set that sign on fire," as she's beating the crap out of Piper Niven in the ring. And I'm like, oh, shit, the WrestleMania sign was on fire.
An oblivious motherfucker because I didn't see anything. It wasn't until you sent me the tweet that I was like, really? Wow, they're doing a good job ignoring it because I didn't see shit. And then the first thing I thought was Ronda Rousey pointed at the sign too fucking hard.
I just... she sure did. She has like Captain Marvel fingertips, I guess.
Yeah,
so.
it's. I know it's sign pointing season, but goddamn, don't look at it too hard.
I know, but yeah. So I just couldn't help but notice the crowd like looking over the side, not paying attention to the match whatsoever. And you're right, this match was in the death spot after a Royal fucking Rumble match. Daniel Bryan.
It didn't matter. You made a really good point. It didn't matter who went on after this match. AJ Styles and Bryan Danielson went on a couple years ago after a Rumble match, and it was the same thing.
Crowd was tired, fucking dead,
and you can't blame them because they have another Royal Rumble match coming on later tonight, and unfortunately, they got to take a breather sometime.
Yep, they sure do.
No way in hell WWE is going to allow Lashley and Lesnar to take that spot, and I guess the mixed tag took priority over this because, again, writing was on the wall. Once we saw Rousey won the Royal Rumble, doesn't matter who yet she's going to challenge. The title wasn't going to change hands in this match.
It wasn't going to change hands because she's got to choose between Charlotte and Becky. Spoiler alert, guys. It's going to be Charlotte.
I was going to say, they ain't going to let her pick it with anyone else, which, oh my God, can't wait to get into the rant at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Anywho.
So Becky actually does hit a few impressive moves, including the finish, which they go up to the second rope, and I like, not to put this on Becky or anything, but I did see her like John Cena the move, like call it to Piper Niven on the second rope. She's like, "You ready?"
Manhandle fucking slam off the top rope.
Avalanche manhandle slam, my friend. And
that was really cool.
Landed. Oh my God, yeah, that was all she wrote.
He took a nasty ass bump. I think finally we got to see what Doudrop could do in this match. As you know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm tired of talking about this. I really am. She's a good wrestler. She has a shitty name.
2 3/4 stars. Now Vince, change her fucking name back, please.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love
3
that.
stars. Really good offense. She showed what she can do, but you didn't need to prove that to me because I know how good of a wrestler she is. It's just
speaking of good wrestlers. Speaking of good wrestlers, they cut a very amazing video package for this next match, talking about forging big pieces of metal. In terms of big hosses, dream match time, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. We've all been waiting years and years for this. I wanted this match to be a lot better than it actually was. Unfortunately, I feel like the dream match part of it, I feel like WWE believed too much in its hype, and they just didn't let the guys go out there and live up to their full potential of what they could do.
Well, I liked this match for what it was. I thought it was very fun. I really don't know. I'm going to give all the credit to Lashley because I really don't know what else you could expect from Brock Lesnar. At every match at this point, it's going to be Suplex City.
Brock was taking some nasty bumps in this too, and Brock did have
They were trading those Germans and fucking
some of the
throwing each other on their heads.
stiffest and tightest German suplexes you'll ever see, folding each other in half. Brock really living up to the nicknames that Paul E was giving him before the match in the intros, which I was asking Tomas live when we were watching this. How many nicknames does Brock Lesnar have at this point? Should we keep a compendium of them?
Bobby beating brawler or something like that.
The Bobby bashing beast.
Thank you, the Bobby bashing beast. Oh my god,
the Mauler of the Almighty.
Fucking A. I was just like, yeah. And then the nastiest bump to me was when they went to the outside. Lashley goes for a spear and he misses. He goes through the barricade, but I could have swore
shit, dude.
the padding came off of the barricade and Lashley collided right into the metal bracing of that barricade. That was fun. It's a spot we've seen a million times, but it just looked extra nasty tonight.
Fucking absurd, dude. Like, I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I thought Bobby Lashley had dislocated his shoulder, in all honesty. Like, it looked
concussed himself, because damn, that
horrible.
padding, it flew off. Like, Lashley connected with some of that metal.
Yeah. But eventually back in the ring, Bobby Lashley does lock in the Hurt Lock, and Brock's in there for a little while, or the full Lashley, whatever you want to call it today. Brock goes and hits the F5, and Lashley's foot, as he's in rotation, clocks referee Chad Patton right in the fucking head. And I'm like, oh my god, the writing's on the fucking wall here. Brock goes to pin Lashley, and no referee, because Brock is a dumb babyface, I guess. And then Roman Reigns, the needle mover, with his t-shirt, runs down and spears Brock. Paul Heyman looks at Roman with tears in his eyes, with the WWE Championship in his grasp. And then, shock and swerve, Paul Heyman hands the WWE Championship to Roman. Roman clocks Lesnar in the head. Goddamn, Bobby Lashley pins Brock Lesnar and becomes the new WWE champion.
I fucking marked out. I was so happy. Because here's the thing, I picked Lesnar to win this match, but I was like, in the background, I was like, fuck, I want Lashley. Like, I'm tired of them doing this to Lashley, because they did such a good job with him last year, and then they kind of have been making him a chump like the latter half of 2021, going into 2022. So when he won the title, I was like, fuck yes, Lashley is back on top where he fucking belongs.
Yeah.
And hold on, I know what you're going to say, but let me get this part out right now. So 2 things we can confirm now. The title is back on a full-timer, back on Monday Night Raw, and at least you have to admit this. At least the rumor of them unifying the titles is out of the fucking window. I'm so happy that's not happening now.
Yeah,
because that hit me today. I was like, okay, they're not going to unify the titles.
I am very happy they're not doing that. Bobby Lashley, and I'm elated that Lashley's the champion again. Now, 2-timer WWE champion in a 10-minute match, which I'm rating 3.5 stars. I thought it was pretty good. Definitely could have been better.
I think that's fair,
but
yeah.
I do think that the match, I feel like the match believed in its own hype a little bit too much. You know what I mean? Like AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania 34. It relied on its hype too much, and then the in-ring action just kind of didn't live up to that hype. You know what I mean?
I'll go as far as saying this was better than that. I know
better than Styles Nakamura?
Yes, it was. It was.
I'll have to go back and rewatch both those matches again just to know.
Yeah. I think this match was fine enough, because right when the match started, it was like, I really don't know what everyone's expecting from these guys. I think Lashley is the superior athlete. And Lashley is just better, and I'm glad he's the champion. And
by the way, Brock Lesnar only held the WWE Championship for 28 days. 4 weeks.
I was so fucking happy.
4 weeks.
And for the first time in the last, 5 years, I'm going to say the Raw side of WrestleMania is a little more intriguing right now than the SmackDown. Because we know what's going to happen with SmackDown. At least with Raw, it's a little, we don't know. We don't know.
We don't know. We don't know indeed. Hey, speaking of Raw.
Don't say anything until we get past the men's Rumble.
Speaking of Raw, Tomas, you have your boy on here.
Here we go. It's a mixed tag team title. Yeah.
Could you imagine? This is a championship match
tag team match. It's the husbands and the wives having a bitter little bitch fight. It's Edge and Beth Phoenix versus The Miz and Maryse. In all seriousness, Beth Phoenix looks amazing. Edge looks so fucking happy to be finally wrestling with his wife. And
he's wanted it for a long time.
Yeah,
both of them have been wanting it for a long time.
Get the credit that they deserve. because I know Maryse hasn't been active for like years and years and years, but I think she plays her role very well. Elizabeth Olsen called. She wants her fucking Scarlet Witch costume back because I think
Ooh.
Miz and Maryse both raided. Miz probably knows her and raided her closet and took every single red piece of clothing he could find.
Well,
because they were just all red everything.
Elizabeth Olsen must be on a backlog because I don't know if she's called Becky about her Survivor Series gear yet. So,
Right.
But this match was, I mean, it was fun for what it was. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's like a big old clinic or anything like that.
No, I think my bro Sean said it best. This was a really good no stakes match because there was no titles on the line. There was no title implications. There was no retirement. Loser has to be the winner's servant for a month. This was just a good old grudge match. It was a good old grudge match.
Yeah.
Edge and Miz are really good. They went out there and did their thing.
Edge hit an execution.
Fun little sequence at the end too with some intergender action going on. We don't see that a lot, and I wish WWE would stop holding back on that and stop doing the men can't hit the women, but the women can hit the men. That's double standards. Don't like that. If you're gonna do it all the way.
Maryse fucking hit Edge with a Hurricane Rana. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was
good
like,
one too.
That was a really good one. And Edge sold it like he was shot by a cannon. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. It was so good. But there was also a sequence, of course, with Beth and The Miz. Double spear on The Miz at the same time. I mean, this is just their greatest hits towards the end of the match. Skull-crushing finale.
I thought Miz and Maryse were going to win after the Hurricane Rana and then the skull-crushing finale.
I was
like,
too.
Edge got the one at day one. Why not? I mean, there's nothing's going to come out of this match, so just fucking let him have it. But
well, apparently, there was a loaded purse as well involved at some point in the match. Edge was hit with it, I believe. Maryse wanted nothing to do with Beth Phoenix, but that's exactly what she got. And the
running joke during this match was, I asked Brittany, how many cans of hairspray does Beth Phoenix go through to keep that hair up? Because it did not move the entire match.
Yeah, well, on Twitter, I saw that she was actually paying tribute to the late Luna Vachon, which is really,
that's
really
cool. That's really cool, actually.
And also that explains like the glass break face paint as well. So Luna Vachon tribute there. So
I know she doesn't want to, but I want to see Beth Phoenix go again in WWE.
I would love to see Charlotte put the belt on the line against Beth Phoenix if she does not lose it to Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania, which she will. But in any case, my friend,
or if she doesn't pick Charlotte Flair, she can pick Becky Lynch. Again, speculation.
Speculation. Yep. We've had this
go either way. Honestly.
We've had this argument for a couple days now, my friend.
But now I'm just like, I'm just at the point of, and I'll get more into it at the end of the review. It's just, I don't know. I don't fucking know at this point. It could go either way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as it goes with this match, I'm not necessarily surprised Edge and Beth Phoenix won. Mainly because I want Edge to move on.
By the way, they won with the double glam slam, which
they
is
sure
cool.
did. They sure did. Right in front of their kids at ringside, which the fucking producer cut away from the hug Edge gave to Lyric at the end, and I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Fuck you guys. Fuck whatever his name is. I forgot what his name is.
Just to recap, this producer has cut away when Edge made his return 2 years ago at the Royal Rumble.
What's his fucking name? It's gonna bother me.
Kevin Dunn. He cuts away from
Kevin
Edge's...
Dunn, yeah. We got a Kevin Dunn special on this show. Yay.
Yep. Cuts away from Edge's first spear in 9 years on Dolph Ziggler 2 years ago, which, would have made my day even better because I saw who he hit it on. And now this motherfucker, like, Edge, like, after the match is over, they get the 3 count. And by the way,
Edge?
No, I don't have anything against Edge.
What's Kevin Dunn's issue with Edge?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, he should have nothing against Edge. So, like, they go through the match. They hit the glam slams. That's totally fine. The match is 3 stars. Fun mixed tag team match. But then after the match is over, Edge goes to ringside, and you see his 2 cute little girls sitting there watching their daddy and their mom, go to battle. And then Edge goes to hug the daughter, and then the producer cuts away. Show me the hug, man. Fuck you, Kevin Dunn. Exactly. Show me that damn hug. I want the precious. Is it wrestling?
Damn.
Wrestling does not have to be this hard. You don't have to make it this hard, guys.
It really fucking doesn't.
Just give me what I want. I want Edge hugging the daughters at WrestleMania to make up for this outrage. Please.
Okay, this is going to be very, very off topic, but I'm scrolling down to the Royal Rumble match because we're going to talk about it. They have very, 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 I'm colorblind. So very, very, very 2 shades of blue. Like they could not be any slightly different to like differentiate Raw and SmackDown. And I'm just like, why? It's like pink
You want to get
for
to that?
Raw, like baby blue for SmackDown, white for free agent, and then yellow for the winner. And I'm just like, why? I can't tell the difference. Because I was scrolling down here, I'm like, did they move all of these people to SmackDown? And I'm like, no, they're just 2 very slightly different shades of blue that I can't tell the fucking difference. But fuck you, Wikipedia. Sorry,
Nope.
That was a very off-topic rant.
30-man Royal Rumble match is up next, and honestly, I should have seen the writing on the wall when the number 1 entrant came out, and it's AJ Styles, who was my pick going into this.
And he did the Shawn Michaels pose, which was so fucking cool. He said, I'm running the gauntlet tonight. Again, what is WWE's issue with people running the gauntlet?
God,
I know I'm jumping the gun, but
honestly,
oh my God.
like the shot he had of the pyro when his music hit, they don't want none blaring over the PA system. It's such an epic main eventer shot from behind him. And then he does the Shawn Michaels pose in the entry, and I'm like, AJ Styles, I love AJ Styles. I love that.
And then number 2, it's Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. And the crowd is
going crowd is singing this time.
I mean,
people in the stands.
Nothing against Rick Boogs. He's fucking amazing, and I like the partnering, but just something about Nakamura coming out by himself with just the music and the crowd singing along. It was so fucking cool. We pop for that shit.
Yeah,
we sing Nakamura's theme song whenever he comes out.
Absolutely. And let me just say that this men's Rumble I don't think was the worst of all time. Certainly one of the most uneventful, but they certainly got a few things right. And this first pairing, absolutely spot on. It reminded me a lot of when Eddie and Benoit started off in 2005.
Like the first third of this Rumble had a lot of promise because next that was Austin Theory. And the first thing I thought is Styles, Nakamura, and Theory. An Evolve guy, a New Japan guy, and a TNA guy. Whoa, WWE, I thought you didn't like independent wrestlers. Go fuck yourself.
Austin Theory's gimmick is he's basically Mr. McMahon's lackey on TV now because he stole Vince's egg that The Rock gave him at Survivor Series. But the thing is, Austin Theory's ceiling is so high just because of like how talented he is in the ring. And it didn't dawn on me until today. This guy is just 24 years old. He doesn't
need Vince.
No.
He does not need Vince on TV.
Well, we said that Drew McIntyre didn't need Vince back in 2010, and look what happened. Now Drew McIntyre main events all the time. So this guy will be a world champion before you know it. Provided
next up is Robert Roode, one half of the Dirty Dogs, and they did something that I didn't think they would do. He embraces AJ Styles, and the commentary team actually mentions that they have some history, and I'm just like,
loud.
What a time to be alive, in my opinion. What a time to be alive.
And loud TNA chants from the crowd too. Like they were audible TNA chants, and Roode and Styles mix it up. Styles just throws him over the top rope. He's done.
Yeah, and that's when I realized, that's right. This is WWE. They don't like to have fun. Next up is Ridge Holland. I knew it. We called it back at day one. Sheamus gave him the face mask while he's recovering from the broken nose.
He sure did.
I was actually very impressed by Holland in this match.
He lasted 20 minutes.
They're actually handling him. They're handling kind of okay right now.
He was in there for a while. And this is...
I'm not going to say well because they could easily fuck it up. But he's doing okay. He's doing okay.
Yeah, but then the first problem with this match came around. Baby steps. The first problem with this match came around when Nakamura was on the apron. Styles hits him with a Pele kick, and that's it for the Intercontinental Champion. Nakamura's done.
5 minutes.
Number 6. Yeah, 5 minutes for Shinsuke Nakamura, who had won the Royal Rumble before, mind you. So
another guy that could have ran the gauntlet. I don't know what WWE's issue is with.
Speaking the guys who could have run the gauntlet, Montez Ford comes out at number 6, and he's very athletic, not much going on. Here comes Damian Priest at number 7, the U.S. champion, and I finally get the gimmick now. I finally get it, Tomas. We were talking about how confusing it was at Survivor Series. I was like, his gimmick's just a tweener. But
he's a good guy, then he's a bad guy.
I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm just the guy, and you will acknowledge me.
Priest should take it. Priest should take that gimmick.
Yeah, Priest and Roman Reigns in a you will acknowledge me off. So no, but basically no, Damian Priest, I saw him cut a promo on the kickoff and he had the US title on his shoulder and it came off very much like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And I was like, that's it. That's
it does. But here's the thing. It's fucking stupid. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Because actually Jekyll and Hyde is interesting, right? So,
yeah, because here's the thing. You crack the code and it's not a terrible concept, but WWE, this is WWE we're talking about. They don't know how to book a children's soccer game, let alone a fucking professional wrestling show.
No. Logically, yeah, Sami Zayn comes out at number 8, and logically his theme music has been taken away from him.
I was gonna say, I mentioned that. We're sitting there. Zayn's music hits, and Brittany starts going, whoa, whoa, and then the look on her face, and I turned, I was like, yeah, they changed this music. And she goes, what? I wanted to get down with this theme song. I was like, yeah. I know you wanted to hear dun, 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 dun. And I was like, I've never seen her heart break so fast.
Come back, CFO. Come back, CFO.
When the beat didn't drop, I was like, I know, it's little things like that I have to reveal to her when we watch.
Yep. So Sami Zayn makes his entrance. He's running wild, and I predicted this right from the get-go. As soon as Sami Zayn comes out, the next person to hit the ring is goddamn Johnny Knoxville.
Go fuck yourself, Knoxville.
So
get the fuck out of my wrestling company.
Here's the thing. I'm willing to give Johnny Knoxville the benefit of the doubt here. He looked better than I thought he would.
And he bumped.
That's
the credit I'll give him. He fucking bumped.
Well, he's on Jackass. That's his thing. That's his thing. He does stupid shit all the time.
Yeah, he starts fucking with Sami Zayn, and then he gets in AJ Styles' face. And Styles says, okay, fine. Hit me. I'm going to give you a shot.
Knoxville stiffed him as hard as he fucking could. And then AJ
Styles was pissed. You could tell.
I'm going to hit you even harder now, motherfucker. And then Knoxville takes it like a fucking champ.
Backhanded him right in the fucking jaw.
Montez Ford hits a frog splash right in his fucking knees. And I'm like, that's nasty.
I had a feeling when I saw that, all the wrestlers when we got together, I was like, we're going to fuck this guy up.
Well, again, because Jackass is a dumb concept, and everybody knows how much I hate Jackass. Like,
oh, I didn't know you genuinely hated Jackass.
I don't. I don't understand it. I don't understand why people like it. But
so you mean to tell me you're not going to be releasing a review on Jackass forever?
I'm not. I refuse. To give them the benefit of the doubt.
Even if the Darby Allin cameo is true?
No, I'm not doing it. So Sami Zayn thankfully Haluva kicks Johnny Knoxville off the apron, which I'll give them credit for. I actually thought Sami Zayn was going to be vice versa. But Sami Zayn ended up eliminating Knoxville, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, yeah.
And Holland also gave Knoxville a nice little slam. I was like, you know what? Everybody fuck this guy up.
Yep. And then right after that, AJ just dumps Sami Zayn over the top rope. You're gonna hear me say AJ's name a lot because he had 6 eliminations, the most out of anybody on the night.
Also, just to go, we're gonna stop talking about Jackass, but let me go right back real quick. Knoxville took some bumps. Still not as bad as the beating Steve-O took from Umaga. Nothing will be as bad as that. Umaga fucking broke
I
his
remember
rib
that.
Splash.
And then they backed out of SummerSlam 2007. But, yeah, so Angelo Hawkins, as Michael Cole called him, was up next at number 10 because he fucked it up. How did he
Brittany pointed out a little inconsistency because the music hit, and then for some reason, I forgot Dawkins' name. It's because on the LED board, it still said Ford.
Yep.
So Brittany said, like, Ford's already in the ring. Why didn't it say Angelo Dawkins? Like, that's a really good point because I fucking forgot his name for a second because of that.
Yeah, not like it was going to matter anyway because out next was Omos. He saunters down to the ring. Omos. Yeah, so he comes down
fucking
and...
Omos.
Yeah. You know, I thought he was fine.
Have I not gone on my rant about Omos?
No. No, you haven't.
You have this big, huge, intimidating man, and his name is Omos.
Yeah.
You couldn't come up with anything better.
This is a Nigerian Omos. Man who one of my fellow YouTube friends actually had classes with him in South Florida. Shout out to Real James on here.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
But why would you name someone Omos? That's an
Well,
asshole thing.
his last name is Omogbehin. It's Nigerian, so you gotta shorten that. So
I'm making fun of myself if you didn't realize. I'm making fun of myself.
Of course. No, but Omos looks pretty good. I mean, he eliminated both Street Profits in fairly quick succession. And then you get number 12, poor Ricochet, man. His girlfriend's the SmackDown ring announcer, but he is just getting pummeled.
And they took away his theme song too. Thanks, WWE.
They did. Come back, CFO, please. But Ricochet is bouncing off of Omos like a ping pong ball. And then Omos hits him with the hardest chop I've ever heard in my fucking life. And Ricochet, I legit thought he was dead. I thought they were going to need a defibrillator. It wasn't like a frying pan, like a Big Show chop. No. Omos's hand comes down, and I'm thinking it's like a big, gigantic wok that you see cooking all the Chinese food, basically. Like anytime you go to get Chinese takeout. That was what I thought hit Ricochet there. I'm like, fuck, dude.
I guess you could say he ricocheted off of Omos's hand.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Up next is one half of the new Raw Tag Team Champions. It's Chad Gable.
Yes.
And while Gable was on his way to the ring, I was telling Brittany that he got a 4.0 GPA and he just earned his master's degree from college. So the minute he gets in the ring, he starts showing off his smarts and he starts gathering everybody up, because we were like screaming at the TV. I'm like, everybody, stop what you're doing and take care of Omos, because he's going to clear house if you don't get rid of him now.
And he was smart.
Is rallying the troops.
He was smart to send Damian Priest at him first, because Damian Priest yells at him, and then Gable looks like, no, you listen to me. You're the biggest. You try and get him first. and then
Priest's dumbass listens to him, and Omos eliminates Priest, making him look like a chump. And I love how Styles is in the corner just saying, like, I was partners with this guy. No, fine, Gable, you be the leader.
Yep. But number 14, again, the cursed number. They all try and go and eliminate Omos. Buzzer hits for number 14, and it's Dominic Mysterio, so pay close attention to his contract and hope he doesn't get released. So Dominic comes in.
Yeah, I'm telling you this right now. If WWE knows any better, if they fire Dominic, Ray's going to be right there with him. And I know WWE doesn't want to lose Ray. He is the fucking poster child for the video game right now. And they, even to this day, Ray makes WWE a fuckload of money. So
now I'm making fun of myself just because I'm like, yeah, there's no way they're gonna release Dominic Mysterio. But number 14 is always the cursed number. Something bad always happens to them within the next year.
Well, so let's hope this isn't the case for once, because if WWE wants to hang on to Ray.
Somebody watch Dominic's left knee, please, and hope he doesn't need surgery. But Dominic comes in, joins the pile, and then AJ springs off the ropes, hits the forearm, and Omos is out of here. I was so happy. So happy.
But he was impressive. I'll give him that. Omos went in there, served his purpose, but he didn't overstay his welcome.
He got that swagger about him now. So happy Corbin in at number 15.
Fucking Corbin.
Yeah, that's right. Happy Corbin. So
fuck you, Happy Corbin.
Yeah. So what happens when? So what happens? What happens when he's eliminated from the Royal Rumble, or when the Chiefs are eliminated from the AFC Championship? Is he sad Corbin now?
Or does it go back to being bum ass Corbin? Hey,
I saw that. Okay, no, off topic, but I saw the Bengals beat the Chiefs yesterday in the AFC Championship, and then everybody was like, "Oh my God, please check on Happy Corbin, so he hasn't turned into bum ass yet, because his team is gone." But Happy Corbin eliminates Ricochet to massive boos from everybody.
Yeah, and then your favorite comes out, and it's Dolph Ziggler, the other
half Dolph Ziggler. Dogs. I fucking hate him.
Aren't you happy to hear that Dolph Ziggler has almost entered the Royal Rumble more times than anybody else in history? He's second to Kane.
Yeah, but he hasn't won any of them, and good on them for picking the right person to win every time.
That Ziggler was in here for a whole 20 minutes.
Anyway, so I wanted someone to. God, yeah. Happy Corbin hits a deep 6 on Dominic and tosses him out. So that means that Dominic was thrown out way before his dad ran out, after they were teasing on Raw that these two were going to be seeing each other in the Rumble.
Inconsistencies. And, okay, I'm not going to say names because I don't want to, put anyone on the spot, but we were watching the Royal Rumble, and let's just say somebody that was watching us, I said, oh, if it comes down to it, Dominic's gonna have to eliminate his dad. And he goes, no, that's not right. And I go, well, it's every man for his. No, that's not right. I'm like, okay, never mind. I'm gonna be quiet.
Dominic's got to eliminate his tiny dad at some point. So
exactly, yeah. I was like,
it was at this
wrestling.
point.
Let's not get so upset.
It was at this point when Austin Theory was eliminated too by AJ. So
yeah, and they missed it. Missed it.
22 minutes for Austin Theory, by the way.
And then Sheamus comes out next, and that's when I realized, oh, we're seeing a lot of familiar faces here, so nothing too excited to get about.
Okay, this is the missed opportunity I was talking about. So Sheamus is walking down to the ring, and AJ, once again, another elimination, dumps Ridge Holland over the top rope right before Sheamus gets to the ring. And then he's like, what are you kidding me, fella? And he's like, don't worry, I'll get him for you. The missed opportunity was Sheamus stopping Ridge before he walked to the back and being like, hey, give me that nose guard. And then Sheamus puts it on himself. So
yeah, there was a lot of missed opportunities for them to be fun in this Royal Rumble. That's probably my biggest issue with this Royal Rumble, other than we'll get into it later.
AJ Styles and Sheamus mixed it up for a while, and I realized they never wrestled one-on-one. So I'm like,
number 18 is Rick Boogs, and this is when I start to realize I think WWE is starting to break him off from Nakamura because they love Boogs.
They cut off all of his hair too.
They did, and I'll even say this: I like Boogs. Boogs is in there; he's looking like ravishing Rick Rude.
I don't know. I don't know.
No, I'm not saying like whole package wise, but with the face and the whole like the posture and the build, he looks like Rick Rude.
He eliminated Chad Gable with one arm, so that was pretty impressive. It would have been more impressive if Kevin Dunn actually caught that the first time. So
but I'm noticing they're starting to they want Boogs to get over on his own, and I like Boogs, so don't fuck it up, WWE.
Apparently, they also want Madcap Moss to get over for some reason. Number 19 comes in.
Madcap Moss
teams up with Happy Corbin. Madcap Moss eliminates AJ Styles.
And why? Why? I understand if you don't want Styles to win. I don't know why you wouldn't want that. But why eliminate him so soon?
He should have won this year. He should have won.
Why eliminate him so soon? I get it. Okay, they have this mindset with Bray Wyatt and Bryan Danielson. They know they don't want Styles to win, so we got to get him out quick. And I know Corbin and Moss should be the guys to do it because they get the easy heat because they learned their lesson with like Rey Mysterio in 2014 and not sending him out there because why would you send your babyface out there? Or, with Roman Reigns, like, that's your babyface. Why do you want to get heat on them? So Happy Corbin, that's the easy choice, like, to get the heat. But why right then and there when there's still 11 more people to enter this match? At least let Styles say he was in there for like 55 minutes. At least give us that.
Yeah, at least let Styles say he was in there all the way to the end. Finn Balor can say that.
Yeah, and then 29 minutes and 6 seconds. That's impressive, but that easily could have been 55, 56 minutes.
That was the same length he had in his first Rumble in his debut. Big deal. Big deal. AJ should have been in there the whole time.
Exactly. So I don't understand with Styles and Sasha Banks, I don't get why they just couldn't have ran the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Like WWE has this weird ass, like, well, the fans are going to get mad, so we need to get rid of them soon. Like, no.
You don't.
Yeah, we're still good. Yeah. How about this? You don't want us to get mad? How about you fucking book people we want to win the match? How about that?
Yeah.
Crazy
not like
concept, I know.
Not like your choice of winner. I did say on Twitter, I was like, you have about half an hour to change your mind about your planned winner here. And lo and behold, they didn't. But number 20.
I know booking a wrestling show is harder than a preschool class for these fuckers, but goddamn.
Wrestling is really not that hard, guys, but number 20 turns out for a long time was the planned winner of the Men's Royal Rumble for a while, and I wouldn't have minded it. Matt Riddle, number 20.
Riddle.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it. One half of RK Bro. He's not the tag team champion anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were in this match.
Bro, yeah, I just cut my hair off, and and then Randy.
Hey, Randy.
I also I have an uncle who's a zookeeper, and then his
name is Randy.
His name is Randy too, but then he wanted to change his name to Ryback, dude. So, but anyway, yeah, Riddle. I don't think he eliminated anybody right away, but in comes Drew McIntyre at number 21, and Pat McAfee treated it like it was the second coming at that point. I was like, bro, I love Drew too, but like he was gone 4 weeks. He was gone from
after seeing Styles get eliminated, I was like, McIntyre's my pick. Go in there and fuck everybody up, please.
Yeah,
I was fucking mad at that point.
And then he grabs Madcap Moss, and I was like, yeah, fucking throw him over. I was still mad at him for getting rid of AJ like that, nonchalantly. Happy Corbin.
He beat the shit out of both of them.
He beat the fucking shit out of both of them. Oh my god.
With the steel steps.
They took a fucking beating. Are we getting a stairs match at Elimination Chamber? Is that what we're getting?
Yeah, why not?
Oh,
Why not?
the stairs match is so stupid.
All I'm going to say is wrap up this shit with McIntyre and Corbin because he's got bigger fish to fry.
He sure
Way
does.
bigger fish to fry.
Like a Bobby Lashley WWE title match, perhaps?
No, don't take him away from SmackDown. The last thing Raw needs is another main eventer. We're lucky McIntyre wasn't out for a fucking year with that neck injury.
All right, yeah. No, I agree. I'm happy to see him back, but obviously I'm happy to see him back. Should have won this year, but number 22, Kevin Owens. They start fighting in the entryway as they always do. I'll have another point on Kevin Owens to make later, but Rey Mysterio. Owens was stomping on Riddle's
lot of people.
feet.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was
Nasty.
brutal.
Nasty.
A lot of people were picking Owens to win too, and I was like, "Fuck it, why not?"
I'm down.
There was a lot of why nots in this Rumble.
WWE doesn't like us having fun though, so Kevin Owens is not supposed to win. So, Rey Mysterio, number 23. Nothing really much going on there. The 2K22 cover star. But then out comes...
can I talk about this next one?
Yes, you can.
Number 24 is Kofi Kingston. Also, no King wins in this match, which made me sad. Kofi Kingston comes out. He is? Oh my God, what is it with the fucking New Day and being injured? So Kingston makes his way to the ring, and then they start wrestling, and then he's on the apron. Kevin Owens launches him into fucking orbit, like 10 feet in the fucking air. And I see it coming from a mile away. Kingston's ribs come crashing down on the barricade, and he hangs on. But then I see it. Both feet did touch the floor. They went back to the replay. They saw it. I saw what they were trying to do there. It was so impressive. But I knew it was going to happen in 1 year. It didn't work. Props to WWE for, not saying, oh, his feet didn't touch the floor, because it was obvious that they did. Kingston was in there for 21 seconds. Not his fault. It's no one's fault. It sucks. It really sucked.
I would like to personally blame Michael Cole for this little spot, because he was the one who was hyping up Kofi Kingston. In my humble opinion, the Royal Rumble highlight reel is led by this man. And then this fucking shit happens right after Michael Cole.
And it did. And it's like, 10 years later, Kingston's going to run out of stuff to do because he's done it all. And this was really fucking impressive.
Jinxed it right then and there. But
I was just scared because he hit the barricade hard. He was so fucking high up. And he came crashing down. Unfortunately, he can't beat physics. Kingston's out. Do better for Kingston. I'm tired.
Here comes one of your guys, Otis, at number 25 too. One half of the
other
Raw
half
Tag Champs.
of the Raw Tag Champions.
Yep, and nothing really going on.
Otis.
Here comes Big E at 26, the new SmackDown superstar who was just traded over there for certain incentives. But again, not really much happening. I mean, Big E's not really running roughshod. He's not eliminating anybody, because you still have to leave the ring full for number 27, which was who, Tomas?
It's Bad Bunny.
Why the fuck was Bad Bunny in this match?
Why the fuck not? Do you not remember WrestleMania last year? How
I
fucking good he did?
I do, yeah.
I popped for Bad Bunny. It was really cool to see him. And he did really good in this match.
He did.
Really fucking good.
He really did.
And he had 2 eliminations.
He eliminated Sheamus. He eliminated Dolph Ziggler, which made me a very happy man. Almost eliminated Rey Mysterio after he tricked him. And they're like, oh, Bad Bunny's been a lifelong fan. He knows how this match works. And I'm like, yeah, good on him, but he has no business being in the final 5. But, he looks good.
He looked really good. I was happy to see him in event number 28. I did pop for it, but then I came back to my senses. It's Shane McMahon. We haven't seen him, and I was just like, okay, that's kind of random, but here's Shane McMahon.
Fucking eliminated Kevin Owens like he was nothing.
Because remember 2019?
I really do not. Yeah, so this is going to be a theme, I think, in the year 2022. You think Kevin Owens is starting to have second thoughts about re-signing yet?
Let's wait to see what they actually do with him at WrestleMania. And I swear to God, if it's a rematch against Shane, I'm gonna.
Oh, it is. You know it is. So, yeah. But Shane, the crowd is chanting, "You still got it" at Shane. Apparently, what they mean by "it" is a bunch of whiffed punches and him getting blown up 5 seconds into his entry.
Yeah, I don't want to see a babyface Shane versus a heel Owens. It was a lot. The dynamic was a lot better last time.
No,
that's another thing. Don't fucking turn Owens back babyface. Like him as a heel.
Yep. Shane exchanges punches with Drew McIntyre because remember their connection in 2019?
Yeah, remember 2019? That's the last thing I
remember. The best in the world.
Heel McIntyre and heel Shane versus Roman Reigns to the Undertaker.
Do not
whatever that thing is.
Do not put Drew in the ring with Shane at WrestleMania. Don't do it.
No.
Number 29. To a huge fucking pop, no less, was Randy Orton, hometown boy. RKO's everybody in sight. Riddle had a sick-ass looking RKO on Drew McIntyre. RK Bro tosses Big E out of the fucking ring, and I was fucking livid. I was heated.
I get it. Like, here's the thing. If they're going to eliminate guys, at least it was 2 guys that make it.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't have. Big E should have been a winner. Like, honestly, Big E should have at least been in the final 4. But alas,
there's a lot of things that should happen. What happened next? What happened next?
Fucking Brock Lesnar was number 30. I called it. Fucking called it. As soon as he lost the WWE title, I'm like, please.
Let me explain something to you. When Lesnar's music hit, I curled up into a ball and I laid on the floor for like a couple minutes. And then I got back up and I sat down. This is something I don't do a lot, but I got really quiet for the rest of the match. This happens. This is a phenomena. Let me explain this phenomena to you.
Okay.
It's a phenomena that happens when I know what's going to happen, but I'm not ready to accept it. And then I've been watching wrestling for almost 20 years now. 20 years this year, actually. And I realized something. Screaming at the top of my lungs at the TV isn't going to change anything.
Yeah.
So I get really quiet and I just sat there. And I hadn't gotten that quiet over a Royal Rumble since 2018 when Nakamura won, because that was another scary one.
Oh, boy.
So I sat there and I was quiet and I saw him eliminate Shane and I saw him eliminate Bad Bunny.
By the way, yeah, Bad Bunny took an F5, so mad props to him for going on tour and taking an F5 from Brock, like risking it all. So
hey, he's going to be in San Jose in March, so good on him.
Sure
I don't
is.
have tickets, but he's going to be in Oakland in September, so I might see him there.
Beginning of March. So
Bad Bunny, my favorite wrestler. Also,
like,
I know it's obvious, but look at his tour dates now and see if he has anything going on the first weekend of April, because if he doesn't, he's going to be at WrestleMania.
No, he's in Miami. So he won't
the first weekend of April?
Yep. He won't be on
so
WrestleMania
this is probably his
year,
appearance
so.
then. This is probably his appearance then.
But I feel like, again, credit to Bad Bunny where it's due, even though he had no business being in the final 5. Like, he put on a good show. That Canadian Destroyer on Matt Riddle was fucking glorious. Looked really great.
Oh, by the way, yeah, Lesnar got rid of RK Bro too, because why should we have any fun?
Clotheslines Randy Orton over the top rope, and the crowd boos Brock Lesnar at the top of their lungs. Matt Riddle takes a very awkward exit in the final 4. Brock tries to clothesline Shane McMahon out at final 3, but Shane, because he's a bad wrestler, doesn't go all the way over the first time. And then Brock winds up, and I'm like, oh my God, he's going to fucking behead this guy. And then Shane, who again had no business being in the final 3 in the year 2022, is out.
Would have been softened the blow if the final 4 take out Bunny and Shane and replace them with Biggie and Owens?
Yeah.
Would that have softened the blow just a little?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Because it would have been, yeah. And then it's Lesnar and McIntyre. And I say under my breath, in my mind, please save us, McIntyre. You're our only hope.
Look at the full circle. The guy who was complaining that McIntyre was getting stale is now saying, please save us, Drew. You know? Like, full circle, man. Full circle. But that was not to be. Brock F5s McIntyre out of the ring. Brock sets the sign on fire once again. Roman versus Brock is the planned direction.
8.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, 8.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is if they're going to go through with that one-on-one match, put a fucking sell around it, please. Like, at least make it interesting. You know.
I don't think it's fully impossible that McIntyre could work his way into this match.
I don't think it's fully...
As of right now, what the fuck is he going to do at WrestleMania?
It would make more sense if you added Seth Rollins to this match rather than McIntyre. Because remember, Mania 31, Roman versus Brock, number 1, Seth Rollins came in and ruined it. So
the true triple threat.
Full circle.
I would rather have McIntyre, but I see where you're coming from. Someone could easily Danielson their way into this match because we all know Danielson's the king of making it triple threat matches.
Give me fucking Rollins, please. Give me a fucking Rollins run to the top. Like,
okay,
I think it's overdue, but
it's finally, we've been building up to it this entire review. This is what this Royal Rumble taught me. So let's take it back to the year 2019 for the women. Nice. Ronda Rousey has just won, thank you, the Raw Women's title at SummerSlam. She held the title all the way until WrestleMania. Becky Lynch wins the title off of her, both titles, and she holds the Raw Women's title for an entire year. And Becky Lynch gives up the title to Asuka so she can go have a kid. And like everyone was saying, when Becky Lynch came back in 2021 and won the title back, it's as if nothing changed. From 2019 to 2022, Ronda Rousey took a break from wrestling, had a kid, all that stuff. In the middle of all of that, enter Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre had to win the WWE Championship in an empty performance center. He was robbed of his moment. From that moment on, there was a pandemic that did not allow anyone to be at wrestling shows, sporting events, anything like that. From that time, wrestlers wrestled in front of nobody for 6 months. WWE wrestlers then wrestled up front in front of a bunch of LED screens for another year. And those wrestlers really held down the fort. I'm talking about Drew McIntyre. I'm talking about Seth Rollins. I'm talking about the Mysterios, the Street Profits, Otis, Asuka,
Sasha Banks,
Belair, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Bailey. The list goes on.
AJ
and on
Styles.
And on. AJ Styles. The list goes on and on and on and on. And then we had our WrestleMania last year that included the very first ever time ever that 2 Black women main evented WrestleMania, and they crowned Bianca Belair the brand new face of WWE. We also had Drew McIntyre holding down the fucking fort that entire time throughout the Performance Center, throughout the Thunderdome. All of these wrestlers could have went home, and a lot of them did. Your Brock Lesnar's, your John Cena's, all of those people. Here we are in 2022, and it's right back to as if none of that happened. None of that happened because we have Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch possibly main eventing WrestleMania night 1, and we have Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar possibly main event. Well, no, they're going to main event night 2. Lesnar, where the fuck were you when there was nobody in that Performance Center? Where the fuck were you when Drew McIntyre was holding down the fort? You did your obligation for WrestleMania that year. I'll give you that. But you were gone. You were a fucking ghost. And McIntyre was there, holding it down. Bianca Belair was there, holding it down. Becky Lynch gets more of a pass because she had a kid. But they weren't there during the shitty times. And WWE doesn't even fucking acknowledge the Apollo Cruzes and hell, the Andrades and all those people that held down the fucking fort when they easily could have said, nah, I'm going home. Call me up when this is over.
And to think about it too, no Apollo Crews in this Royal Rumble. No Commander Aziz. I mean, like him to a lesser extent because he's not a good wrestler, but no Apollo, no Finn Balor because apparently he's overseas right now. No Cesaro, who is another big one that held down the fort for a while. I mean, again, the list goes on. And no King Woods, I guess, because he was injured. But
all of those people that wrestled when honestly they didn't have to.
No NXT representation in this. You don't get Bronson Steiner. You don't get Walter.
You Braun Breaker?
No, I meant what I said. You don't get Tommaso Ciampa. You don't get anybody like that. No Pete Dunne. No Kyle O'Reilly. Hell, like, you know, if you want to break down the Forbidden Door, you can do that.
All
but
to make room for Knoxville and Shane.
And Bad Bunny. And
no, Bad Bunny needs to pass. He's cool.
Because Bad Bunny's a fan. But again, no business being in the Final Five. That would be like if I was like, yeah, I have business being in the Final Five, being a wrestling fan. You know, I can do this. You know, it's inspiring what Bad Bunny's doing. But, like, dude, in the Royal Rumble match, like...
But, yeah, so do you get my point on why...
Yeah.
It's sad.
It really is. Really is. Rewarding.
So I think Drew McIntyre has earned a year's vacation because he's been holding the company on his back for the past 2 years. When, quite frankly, he didn't have to.
He's got a busted neck anyway. He didn't have to come back. He could get that rehabilitated, but apparently he's more stubborn than Kurt Angle is, coming back 4 weeks after a neck injury. So, like...
So with that being said, the Royal Rumble, I'll give it a 7.
6.
There's a
6 for me.
A lot of speculation going into this year's WrestleMania. There are very solid points for Ronda Rousey to challenge either women's champion. We never got the Becky Lynch match that we were supposed to get at Survivor Series. It was supposed to be them at WrestleMania until Charlotte Flair was added to the mix. You know, a star is needed on SmackDown. Rousey did eliminate Charlotte Flair, and that's obvious. Oh, well, I got rid of the Rumble. You know, I want my revenge back, all that stuff. Both matches are equally as intriguing, so that's going to be interesting to see who Rousey's going to pick. We know Reigns and Lesnar is going to happen. They wouldn't have done this if that wasn't the case. And I think it's going to be interesting finding an opponent for Lashley. So I think the Raw side is a lot more interesting right now.
Yeah, the Raw side is very wide open, but, I mean, this Royal Rumble very much disappointed me in terms of the winner. Men's Royal Rumble match, thumbs in the middle, maybe. I mean, there were some good moments throughout it, but as soon as AJ was eliminated, writing was on the wall. It was the ghosts of my past 2015 senior year of high school.
It was wind got knocked out of my sails when Lesnar's music hit. You know, it's just like, couldn't help yourself, could you, WWE?
Nope, couldn't help himself. But
with that being said, like we've mentioned, there will be no Elimination Chamber review because it's in Saudi Arabia. There will be another poll up to decide on what we're going to review that month instead.
Yes.
We're going to have some fun in February.
We sure are.
I'm going to have a lot of fun in February because I'm going to Disneyland in 2
weeks. Hell yeah. Make sure you ride Rise of the Resistance because it's great.
Yeah.
So
fun fact, I'm actually going to be in Disneyland during Elimination Chamber, so I'm sure I'll be crying that I'm missing that show. I'll watch it when I get home. I am in no rush to watch it.
Oh boy, yeah. Well, hey, if you guys are new here, smash that subscribe button and that notification bell right next to it so you always stay in the loop. Hit that thumbs up as well. It would mean a ton. Y'all are the best.